Welcome to another edition of Carnivore Bites. I'm your host, Jeff Sherman, along with Dr. Eric Lopkin. And Dr. Lopkin, I think there's two big things, obviously, in the news. And let's start off with the trade war to start. Your analysis of that, the impact politically and economically, obviously.
The trade war with China took a huge turn this week. More tariffs are going in. China has started manipulating its currency again so that, in order to strike back. And there's a lot of talk that China is basically just trying to stall in order to get Trump out of office and then steamroll over a Democrat. Now
I think that's pretty much it. There's no question about it.
It could be,
no doubt.
But that's gonna backfire on them big time. Because
why?
One, their economy is not very strong right now, and they can't rely on European countries to bail them out because the European countries aren't in a good place right now. Also,
and their economies aren't that big anyway. Yes.
Right. Also, Elizabeth Warren came out with a plan to deal with China, and she's even harder on China than Trump is. So if the Democrats,
I bet they're probably hoping for Biden.
Probably, but I don't think Biden's going to be able to be politically viable, first of all. But even if he does manage to win, I don't think he can afford to go soft on China when the rest of his party is already pushing.
It'll be interesting. What do you think the effect on the economy is going to be?
The effect on the economy is going to be a lot less than people think. The manufacturing sector has already been soft. That's going to take another hit. But the consumer economy in the U.S. is so strong right now. I mean, remember when GDP came out last week, the consumer sector was 4.5%. So you're not going to see that big of an effect here.
I would agree with that. I think politically, let's talk about politically. What effect do you think it has?
Politically, it's going to be hard on Trump, not so much because of what's actually happening, but because of how the media and the Democrats are going to portray it. They're already starting to yell, "The sky is falling."
I would agree with that. We'll see how that plays out. The next big thing is the shootings. That's hurt Trump a lot, I believe, especially the mainstream media harping on the whole he basically fostered the environment to make that happen.
Yeah, the mainstream media is banging the drum on that. And what really amazed me was CNN, because every time there's a mass shooting, the Democrats call for stronger background checks. And CNN has supported that call all along. Trump came out this week calling for stronger background checks, and CNN immediately went, well, there's no evidence that stronger background checks would have helped this situation.
So CNN has lost all credibility, though, Doctor. I mean, it's actually become a caricature of itself.
And the other thing that, of course, the mainstream media is focusing on the shooting in El Paso, how, Trump is responsible for this, but they're downplaying Dayton. Why? Because the Dayton shooter was an anti-government Elizabeth Warren supporter.
Agreed, and it just shows you how out of whack things are. Now, to kind of wrap it up, what do you think in closing? What effect does it have politically on Trump? I think it does have a political effect.
I don't know that it's going to have a political effect because, unfortunately, these shootings...
No, how about with Obama, though? How about with Obama almost kind of coming out and quasi-blaming Trump for it?
Obama is a non-factor. Obama is still trying to desperately hang on to his lost legacy. Even the Democrats aren't listening to Obama anymore. In the last debate, Biden was attacked for everything Obama did.
That's true. So politically, you think it's a non-starter?
I think, unfortunately, like every other mass shooting we've had in the country, nothing is going to change.
On that note, thank you very much, Dr. Lopkin. I would agree with your assessment.
See you next week.
You've been listening to Carnivore Bites, part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can catch us every week at exvadio.com/podcasts, on the iHeartRadio app, the Apple Podcasts app, the iTunes Store, Spotify, and wherever you find podcasts. You can also catch us live every Friday at 4 on WESU FM 88.1.